everyone, Amanda here. Thanks for joining me. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming and joining me again. And if you're new, please do subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. So we're on with this altered book. We've got another episode, but I just want to share the creation of the bookplate that I'm going to be making. I don't know whether I'm going to tack this onto the beginning of a flip through of the book or whether I'm going to do it as a little separate video after the fact. I'm not sure. But what I need is, I'm wanting a metal bookplate. I'm going to keep the front of my book just plain, you see. She's finished. I'll be doing a flip through soon. I want it plain with just like what I call a statement piece, a metal bookplate. Now, when I've seen other people do this with plain books, they use the Tim Holtz bookplates, or you can get knockoffs from AliExpress, but I don't have any. I don't have time to wait 3 weeks for something to come from China, and the closer you get to Christmas, the longer it'll take, and then you've got Chinese New Year, so I could be waiting months, and I can't find any Tim Holtz ones anywhere for sale. You know, Amazon don't have any. They might have some tomorrow. So what I'm going to do, I've got quite a collection that I've collected over the years of these like thin filigree metal pieces. Yeah, cheap as chips. They're bendy, they're a bit pants, but you know what, you can make some good stuff. And then this here is a draw pull, and this was sent to me by my friend Lisa. It's a Graphics 45 one. She sent me a pack of them. So I'm going to come up with my own decorative bookplate using just these. Now this was a square and I've cut it in half. Okay, now I suppose you could just see what you've got. That's basically what I've had to do. I've just had a look through my stash and think, how could I do that? How can I get similar results with what I've got? Okay, book corners. Maybe you've got some of those decorative metal book corners instead of these. Yeah. If you don't have metal pieces, maybe you've got some really nice die cuts that you could cut out on black card and then add, you know, stipple on some bronze coloured acrylic paint or something to make it look like old, you know, like it's old. I mean, I've got this, I think it's like £1.20. Don't have to be expensive, or alternatively you can get like the gilding wax and gilding paste and stuff like that, okay? So you could make them out of card, and all you'd do is just die cut them and maybe layer them up. So have a look what you've got. You'd be surprised what you could come up with if you think about it. Now, normally you can quite nicely stick metal parts together with like glossy accents or something. But because where I want it is such a small surface area where it's going to attach, I'm actually going to use my glue gun. I don't use my glue gun as much as I used to. When I used to make fabric flowers and stick pins and stuff, I used to use it all the time. And I use a Sure Bonder. I did have another one with a really fine tip. This one's got quite a big tip with a really fine tip. I'm sure that was it. What was that one called? I can't remember what it was called, but you can get them on eBay for no more than £10. So the only thing you've got to do is if you're using... I'm losing my train of thought, I don't know what's wrong with me. If you're using hot glue on metal, you've got to be super quick and you've got to use as little as possible, okay, so it doesn't look a mess. So what I'm going to do is, I want to stick that to the bottom of there, so I'm just going to, on there, I'm going to put a very small bead first of all, and just see if I can just tack it with the tiniest amount, and I'm layering it up. Just be careful because obviously it is hot, and you will burn it will take your skin off. I'm used to it, mate. Well, I've not used a glue gun in a long time. I used to constantly have no skin. I used to have like shiny skin on my fingers and my thumbs there when I used to make flowers. Because I was constantly burning myself. Honestly. So there we go. So that's tacked that on there for now. Now it might not be 100% secure, but it's tacked it on for now. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go back over and add a tiny amount more. Tiny amounts at a time. I'll just let it dry a tiny bit, and then I'm just going to gently tap it on. Okay, like I say, you be very careful. I seem to have asbestos skin. There we go. So that's held that on there now. So I'm going to do the same at the top. Okay, and it's all about just using really tiny amounts, so that it's not bulky, so that it's not splodging out, and that's how you get the best results. I want that as close to the edge as possible. Okay, I'm just going to hold it. So yeah, glossy accents I will be using to glue the whole piece when I've done to the book, but to attach these tiny pieces here, because like I say, because where I'm attaching them is such a small surface area, I'd be trying to hold it forever and a day and waiting for the glossy accents to dry. Okay, so that's not 100% secure. What I'm going to do is just put a tiny dab there, and we're just tacking it on. It's like tack welding. We're just tacking it on in places where we're not going to see the glue. Okay, very, very, very tiny amounts. Very tiny. And don't forget, if you put too much on and it looks a mess, with metal pieces, you can just, it'll pull off. The hot glue will come off. So don't get disheartened. So I'm just tacking that on. So that's all held now. Okay. So that is like, that's going to give me a nice large book plate. In fact, I think that's even bigger than the Tim Holtz ones. So we've got a good start there. If I've got any strings, you can pull them off, but you can just get your heat gun out, blast over it very quickly, and they'll shrink. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I need to attach that on to there, but I've got these little holes where there's meant to be screws. So I'm just going to have a look in my brads and see if I've got any bronze ones. If not, it doesn't matter. And then I need to find a word. Let me have a look. Have I got any? Don't know if I've got any of that colour. I've got every colour except I've got pink, which is highly useful. That's too big. I think I've used all my bronze ones. So that's heart shape's no good. Heart shape's no good. I think I've used them on a previous project, so I might just leave it. Might just leave it. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because it's meant to be a draw pull, you see. Those holes are for the little screws, and they do come with it. But the screws, I don't want to put screws in my book. Particularly. I'm going to regret tipping all them out now, aren't I? Slippery little suckers. Right, so what I need now, I need a word to go inside of this. So I'm using this draw pull like it's a book plate. Yeah, we'll deal with them later, can't be bothered. Right. Words. Where's my words? So I've got a little, here it is. I've got, I keep some of my little ephemera in little wallets like this. They're just little CD wallets. The rest are in sandwich boxes. The ones that I've got loads of are in sandwich boxes. So let's just, let's have a look. So I need one that's going to fit in here. So that would be nice, but it's far too big. Might just be these. I might end up with that's just plain typed, but that's been already cut out. I could do with one that's not been cut out. I like that memories, but I bet that's, oh, it just fits. So we could, that's a possible. I'd rather have journal. There we go, that one. That's the one I want. And the reason I want that one as opposed to that one is because I've cut that one out with my label punch. That one's a bit bigger, so then I can make it exactly whatever size, and you know, exactly the right size. So that's the one we want. Okay. I have to dump these back in here, sorry, else I won't have any room to craft. So I've got quite a few of these, as you can see. I don't know why that bow's in there. A bit random. Because, you know, I've bought word kits from people and things that I've got from Artie Mays. I've got, she does a lot of freebie sheets of words on her Facebook. And, you know, I'll cut them all out, all at the same time, and put them all in here, and then you've always got something. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to put that where I want it. Sorry, my Yorkshire accent sometimes sounds like very bad grammar, but it's just a regional accent. But I'm not putting on a posh... Some people put on posh voices for YouTube, don't they? If I put a posh voice on, I'd forget halfway through. And it'd be like, oh, have a lovely day. And then I'd be like, see you later. At the end, I'd forget. I don't know how they do it. I do know some people that do put on a posh voice, and when you meet them in real life, you're like, oh... I suppose you can feel a little bit intimidated maybe by your regional accent or your voice, and feel like you need to maybe put one on. I'm not fussed. Not fussed. Right, so that's going to fit now. That's going to fit fine. I like that. So let me just get rid of my pencil marks. No idea if you can see. I think you can. Get rid of my pencil marks, and then I'm just going to do I want to edge it? Just a tiny bit, I think. Let's see if I've got a bit of a finger dauber, or did I chuck them all? I can't remember what I did with them. I think I chucked all my finger daubers in the bin because they annoyed me. Right. So although that's pink, I know it's clean because I washed them all the other day. So I'm just taking some of the colour off on my book there to the side. I just want to give this a little bit of just a tinge of yellow, like it's aged ever so slightly, but I don't mind if you can see some of the white coming through. That'll do. So that's antique linen. That'll make it look, it gives quite a yellowy tinge, so you have to be careful. And then we've got tea dye, which again, that can be very orange. You've got to if I use that, I'll link up my sponge, and then I'll have a scrap piece at the side, and I'll take a bit off. And be mindful before you add it to a project for the first time, because that can be quite orange and that can be quite yellow, and also that can have a tinge of green as well. So just if you're buying distress inks, whatever you do, have a good practice with them first, and also add water to them and have a look how the colours change when you've added water to them as well. Right, so just a little tip, you don't have to listen. I'm just going to stick this on here with some of, no, I've got, look what I'm trying to glue it with. I'm not going to get far with that. It's because it's a similar bottle. I won't get far trying to stick things on with stickers. So this, I only ever have a small bottle, and the reason I always have small bottles is because I don't have a right lot of success keeping these unblocked. So I buy a small bottle at a time, and I don't use that much of it anyway, if I'm honest. I used to do when I used to do stick pins, but I don't use a right lot now. So if a small bottle gets all bunged up, I don't feel like I want to cry. It's expensive. It's not cheap. Right, a little bit there. Again, with this, less is definitely more. Just tap it on. Right, so I want it that way. Okay, okay, okay. Right. That's quite successful. Not bad. Quite not bad there, Amanda. I'm quite impressed to see I'm completely and utterly bog-eyed. Sorry if that offends anybody. Bog-eyed in Yorkshire just means you're blind as a bat. And I am bog-eyed. I wear varifocals. I can't see a thing if I take my glasses off, so I am bog-eyed. Literally. I can see with them on though. Oh my gosh. Oh, you just need to just give that a minute to dry. It'll dry pretty quick because that's paper and paper's porous. So it should adhere pretty quick, that. But we're gonna sandwich that into the metal piece that we're making anyway, so we'll bang a load of glue on so that'll stay in place. Right, so now I could do with like a non-stick mat, but I clearly don't have one. So it doesn't matter, I'll just use this book page. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to, I've got too much on there, let me just smoosh some of that off. I'm going to use these quite wide parts here, put some, and then put some on the back of there and some on that raised bit. And then what I do is I'll just go over with the nozzle and rest the nozzle back on the glue, because it does literally dry so quickly. Right, so then you've got to be really quick, and if my hair gets in the shot I'm going to die, because I've just literally not long been out of bed and I've got my dressing gown on and I've not even brushed my hair. So that's not in the middle. I need to move it over. There. Bit more that way, there. Right, so now I'm going to press and hold and hope that that hot glue didn't dry too quickly. If it did, I'll just lift it off and do it again. And I'm putting on quite a lot of pressure. Probably my knuckles will go white. Right, has that stuck? No, it's taken at one end but not the other. So my hot glue, I was too slow. Too slow with that hot glue, so let's try again. Okay, let's try again. Come on, quickly. You do have to be really quick. Okay. That should be alright because I can feel it, it's still warm. So that should hold now. Yeah. And now it's stuck to my book page. Obviously. Barnaby, innit? Right. It's fine. So there we go. We've now got our fancy book plate. I think that's well nice. I mean, if you felt inclined, you could put something there. You could hang dangles off of it, or whatever you wanted. I'm not... if I had a little something, I might put a little something there, but I don't think so anyway. So we'll leave it as it is. So I'll finish the rest of my book cover, because some people did say, oh, I'd love to see how you decorate it. Well, I'm not really massively decorating it. Normally I'll do, I've got a little bit of glue there. Normally I'll do like, if you've watched my videos, you've seen, you know, I'll do some collage kind of topper for it, but I'm not. I'm keeping this one plain. So what I'm going to use, because I've used sari silk there, look. It's lovely, and I've added some charms. You're not looking inside yet though, that's another video I think. I'm going to use some cheesecloth I think. Let's have a look how big it is. About there. Try not to cut myself. Yeah, that'll do for me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, what am I using? What glue am I using? I think I'm going to use my beacon. Just be careful when you're using this. I have noticed, I've had to start opening my window, I have noticed it does give me a bit of a headache, this glue. So I'm going to have to start and reduce how much I use it. That could be just personal to me. It could be the fact that I'm in here nearly, you know, 6 or 7 hours a day gluing. But just, yeah, just be mindful when you're using these kind of glues, because they have got, I don't know what it is, it's going to have some sort of solvent in it, isn't it? So if you're exposed to it for hours on end, like I am, just be careful. Right, so so I'm going to do like an X marks the spot, I think. So about there. Oh no, that's a bit. About there and about there. I don't know, I don't want it right in the middle. Do I want it a bit I think I want it a bit further up than that. Changed my mind. Let's get it off quick. Get it off quick. Oh, it's left a mark now. Okay, quickly editing this in, completely and utterly changed my mind. I couldn't handle, my brain couldn't cope with the marks on the cover left by me blobbing the glue everywhere and then trying to get it off. So I've had to go with I wanted a plain cover. I've had to end up with a happy medium, half decorated, half plain. So this is what we've ended up with. I think it does tie it in a little bit more nicer to the shabby chic kind of pinkness inside and florals. So I've kind of got what I wanted. It's not quite how I envisaged it, but it's still pretty and I feel happier now, because obviously this is going to be going out to somebody, so I couldn't have it wear with a horrible cover. So there you go. I just thought I'd come and show you. Sometimes when you make mistakes, you just have to rectify them. You have to accept that what you're doing is not going to plan, that you're not going to get the look you wanted, and do amend and just have another look through your stash. I managed to find 3 flowers. That's literally, that is it. That's all I've got. But I think they look quite pretty there. So there we go. It's done. Alright, so all we need to do now is have a look inside. I'll see you soon. Bye.